do my mantras, get that karma over with.
You get everybody do the 5 rounds if you were doing the 5 rounds?
50 rounds a day.
5 rounds a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd it feel?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Any
you can feel it's
experiences?
getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I had some pulmonology experiences.
Well,
What kind?
But like, just seeing, like on my way, on my lunch hour, I walked by, I saw a bad omen basically. I saw a honeybee in a spider web, and and Ben is like honeybee through. That's like his nickname when he was a kid. So I thought he's in trouble. And then when I was going home, I saw the spider eating the honeybee, and I was like, uh-oh. And I went home and he was like really sick. And then a good omen I saw as I was having a conversation with my new boss, who's really a very aggressive, like Martian type. And outside the window there was hummingbirds, and and then our relationship actually got very good after that. Much better. So
Totally.
that was cool because I'm really.
you have a strong Mercury in your chart?
It's in the 6th house with the sun.
But it's with the sun.
Yeah.
So by being with the sun, it's showing that your insight's coming from omens. Mercury works a lot with omens.
Interesting.
So that connection, that the sun is what gives us the ability to see into things. So that Buddhaditya there is causing that, the omens to be activated. Any experiences? You did the 5 rounds a day?
I just noticed that it would make me feel really like juicy. And
Juicy.
like I had juicy, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's all I noticed. That
It's supposed to increase particularly the tejas.
Potatoes. Another thing I noticed is that by the time I got to the finished things would begin, just perceptually, I'd look around, everything would begin like luminous. It would be like luminous. Like, wow. And other than that, nothing like outstanding. But
Doesn't have to be anything outstanding. But there should be association with light.
with light?
Yeah.
Oh, so luminous is
Good results are showing that there should be some association with light. Either you see lights in your meditation or there's some light. She just mentioned omens. Her sun's conjunct Mercury, so there we got some light activation happening.
Oh, right. I remember at one point on this side, I was, I meditated with my eyes open.
Yeah.
There's this huge flash of blue light. And I'm like, wow. I thought it kind of wigged me out a little bit, and I just kept on going, It's like, say, don't pay attention to phenomenon.
You know what? I saw something like that too. I thought it was outside. Because I sit
really?
there in my window thinking, what the hell's going on outside? But then I checked and there was nothing really going on.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. There was actually, I remember this one guy said to Sanjay, he's like, every time I do this mantra, all kinds of crazy things happen, so I'm not going to do it. But, the big thing is this mantra destroys rajas and tamas. So, it has to cleanse our aura. So who knows, for each of us, that's a different level of reality. With the rajas and tamas that has to go in order for that sattva to rise.
Because it goes to the 6th house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I notice my yoga is like almost every pose, like you can feel the Sushumna.
Mm-hmm.
The whole channels are opening. This is like yesterday. I'm like, wow.
I noticed you brought your mat.
Yeah.
Are you going to do some yoga?
No, I was going to sit on it. But it's been really good. The spiritual, I've been listening. Only for wanting something better on the radio, I listen to the Christian radio stations because it's always, about God, right? So I just get into a nice little God flow when I'm driving,
God is good. All the time.
Okay. So that was Bodhana. Next one we're going to do is called Tadana. Now, for that one we just did, 5,000 is minimum, meaning 50 miles.
Oh.
That was the minimum. If you can do more, you do more. Minimum's 5,000. The next one, it's 1,000, meaning 10 malas, meaning only 1 mala a day. But you've kind of turned it up a little bit with the last one. So minimum is 1. You can do more though. And more is good. Now, where we're going after this point, this is the Tadana means giving it the power to be a weapon. Giving it the power to actually remove and cut through. It's supposed to remove tamas and rajas, so it gives it the power to remove tamas and rajas. You know what tamas and rajas are? Okay. Gives us the power, it gives the mantra the power to really cut through your junk, to cut through your tamas, to cut through your illusions. The preceding, the last two that we just did, so the Hrum and the Sohamsa, it's generally advised, if it's a mantra that's very important that you're doing regularly, to do it like once a year.
Oh, this thing.
The Sohamsa, Hamsa, and the Hrum, do that once a year to keep the mantra charged. You know, like you can't do those too much. So after once a year, you know, reactivate with just, you know, and maybe we'll be doing it here regularly. I don't know. Let's see. But those are regular. Now we're going into the Tadana. That's one that, you know, you do it once. If you need to do it again, you know, do it again. But, yeah. So, Tadana means weapon. And the main weapon associated with the Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa mantra is the Sudarshana chakra of Vishnu. For Kamala mantra, what's the weapon?
Weapon is it's the water pot or lotus or the
Eric, is it water pot or lotus?
The Padma, I think.
I think it's the Padma, yeah. The water pot's Saraswati.
Oh, that's nice.
I thought the water pot was Brahma.
Both.
Saraswati is the mala.
You sure? I think both are both.
Saraswati doesn't normally carry a kamandalu.
Yes, she does.
She has a mala and a veena.
Yeah, mala.
In Devi Mahatmya,
Oh.
when she was out there on the battlefield.
That's Mahasaraswati. Mahasaraswati looks completely different.
Okay, because she was out there. Her weapon on the battlefield was the holy water.
Right, and maybe Brahmi of the Saptamatrikas also.
Yeah.
But the Mahasaraswati and Saraswati are different. Mahasaraswati is the main goddess that destroyed Chanda and Munda.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the Mahasaraswati.
There's no
Mala
all
and
this.
moon.
Huh?
Like, where is this?
That's
It's
in
like-
the
In their books?
You write it down,
it's in the
and
chandi pot.
slowly it
It comes
starts.
together.
It all comes together.
I really need that org chart, you know, organizational chart, listing the gods and goddesses.
Unfortunately, it's not that easy.
Or something, like some kind of chart, you know.
Yeah, God is really one.
Yeah, there's only one God.
Don't confuse yourself.
Yeah, right, it's just happening naturally.
Perfect one, and then everything else fits in according to that one. Because you know, you can look at all the gods according to Vishnu, from the standpoint of Vishnu. You can look at all the gods from the standpoint of Durga.
Right.
So it's going to shift how you look at them depending on the standpoint you're looking at them from.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, manifest, really perfect your Devi first. Yeah. So Sudarshana chakra. And we add Fat before and after the mantra. So it's Fat Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa Fat. Fat Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa Fat. Fat Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa Fat. Now Fat, the energy that goes along with Fat is, imagine if you have a baseball and you want to throw it as far as you can. And you just lean back and you're trying to throw it. And you're just that that comes out when you throw. That's Fat. Okay? That, you know, whatever that noise that comes out when you're throwing something really far or pushing something really hard. That's our Fat. That's the energy we want to be invoking with that Fat. We want to be...
Like the Indian tennis ball.
I can play tennis, I don't know.
Gets shot out of the like.
Run.
Poosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the batting.
When you hit the tennis ball, does it make a
When
good
people
noise?
really hit it really
It's
hard,
grunt.
they grunt.
Ah,
Like my
okay.
parents watch tennis matches.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's all that energy.
Yeah.
But they do that in martial arts too. It's
Yeah.
like you do sound as well as the move.
And that's our Fat energy. Okay, we're gonna do a round together. Somebody have a mala?
I do, but I didn't hear the mantra because I was out of the
Fat.
cell. Fat what? Fat Hare Krishna Fat.
Fat.
Okay.
And with that Fat, you're asking that mantra to start cutting away the tamas and the rajas from your life. That's the is called either Trishul Mudra or Astraya Mudra. Pinky is held down. These 3 fingers stay together. And this is it's like the Trishul of Shiva. The sound Fat, it's actually in Sanskrit, if you transliterated it exactly, it's P-H-U-T. P-H-A-T.
Yeah, and with the dot.
Pa.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Traditional Sanskrit would say Pat. More modern Sanskrit is Fat. You know, that PH, just like in phone. Modern Sanskrit. Most, yeah. Yes, Sanjay says Fat. He's East Indian. Everything was written East Indian. And Tibetans? Hey. Now there's an H there. So it's Fa, 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 Fat, Fat, Fat. You gotta get that. When the H is there, it's coming from the navel. So the navel should go in when you say the bija. Fat, Fat, Fat. The mala. There's 2 ways to move a mala. The mala you can be pulling the beads towards you, or you can be pushing the beads away from you. When you have Fat, can you feel your system? It's almost like it's been shaken a little bit. Can you feel that? With the Fat. It's cleansing. It's chopping away your rajas and tamas. More than you would like to, mentally. Mentally, we're very attached to our rajas and tamas. People are attached to their cigarettes. They're attached to their bad habits. People are attached to sleeping in late. It's a soft, comfortable bed. People are attached to that rajas and tamas. So when we're cutting that away, it shakes the mind slightly. You'll feel the mind become, it starts to shake because it's being cut away, cleansed. When you pull the mantra, the mala in towards you, you're taking that Fat. That Fat is the Sudarshana chakra of Vishnu. And he's throwing that chakra, cutting away your negativity. When you pull the mala in, it's ensuring that that chakra is aimed at you and that it's your negativity that's going away. If for some reason somebody was sick or we needed to do this mantra for someone who couldn't do it, we would take and we'd push the mala away from us. That way that Fat is going to them. We're giving them this mantra. We're asking the Sudarshana chakra to work on them.
But generally, you don't want to be sending that to somebody.
If a person is sick and we need to increase the sattvic planets to help them get over whatever the situation is, in an operation or something of that nature, it's the Sudarshana chakra, removing rajas and tamas.
Is that the same thing if we're doing another Mrityunjaya mantra?
All mantras. But when you have Fat, certain endings are a little bit more strong. Because here, like we picked up that baseball or that rock and it's thrown. Vishnu has the chakra and he's throwing it. The weapon of the mantra, its ability to cut and do its job, is getting activated with this. So it's a little bit different than your average mantra, but yes, you do the same thing with Mrityunjaya mantra and any other mantra. When you're doing it for someone else, it's moving away from you. When you're doing it for yourself, it's moving to you. With this, it becomes very important. For our sadhana right now, we want to make sure it's moving towards us because we're trying to get that activation in ourselves. Anything else? So minimum 1 a day.
For how many days? 10 days?
Minimum 10 days. Best is if you do it for the next, let's see, because the next one's Abhishek, so it's not as easy to do on. Do we want to do this for 2 weeks plus? Yeah, you see, if it was a simpler one for the next one, we could start after 2 weeks. Start the next one on our own. You guys want to try and do it on your own, or you want to try and wait, just do that mantra for the next month? And then wait
Just
till...
for 40 days?
I want to try doing the rest myself, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I have the book, I have to be reading ahead anyway, so
Yeah.
I can try to do
Okay. So do this mantra for 2 weeks. Now the next one, which will be next week. We're not meeting for the next class. I'll be in India. Write the mantra on a piece of paper. In general, this is done when the extraction is done. Write the mantra on a piece of paper, something like that. You put that down, you get a glass of water as you offer in puja. Like this, and each time that the mantra is said, the water is poured on. Okay?
Pour on the piece of paper?
Yeah. And for the mantra, it's I'm Hamsa Om Hari Rama Kṛṣṇa. And Eric, it's not done after, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just before. I'm Saraswati. I'm Hamsa Om Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa. I'm Hamsa Om Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa. I'm Hamsa Om Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa. So the water is poured. This is done 10 malas. And this one is you should do one sitting. One sitting. Okay.
And the paper's going to get soaked eventually, basically.
In general, it's done on a leaf. Okay. And that leaf is eventually tossed into the ocean when the whole sadhana is done. It could also be done mentally, offering the water. Okay. To the mantra. You're doing abhishek, purifying it, just like a Shiva lingam. The mantra after that. So this should be done at one time. See, that's the reason I was wanting to do it in class, because it's a one-timer. After that, we have the purification.
It's 10 malas, I'm sorry.
10 malas.
So, yeah.
You know what? Let's do that for 2 weeks. And doing the offering the water manas, puja-wise.
Oh.
Offer the water to it. I'm Hamsa Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa. Let's do it like that. That way we're all together on the next one. And you can go ahead if you want, but
So what was that then? We're not going to do the Abhishek?
I'm Hamsa Om Hare Rama Kṛṣṇa.
Oh, so we're going to do that in 2 weeks?
I'll be in India in 2 weeks from now.
Right.
So in 2 weeks from now, you want to start that one.
Okay.
Okay. And one mala in the mind, you can physically offer water or just in the mind offer water.
What did you say after that? You said another mantra, just another something?
I will start that together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the next one after that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So should we do this on the full moon, since that's about 2 weeks from now? Since tomorrow's the new moon?
Sounds good.
I think-
Best to do it the day before the new moon. Which day is that?
The Chaturdashi.
Yeah. It's what?
I'm actually just looking at the Paramguru right now.
Okay. So that Abhishek is Abhishek, just like we offer water to the Shiva Lingam, but instead of to the Shiva Lingam, we're offering it to the mantra. Okay, so it's water over the mantra, where you visualize that mantra and you offer the water to it mentally. Okay. So
Is it okay to start these sort of lineage cycles?
for you, Hare Rāma Kṛṣṇa. Just the beginning mantra. Write it down so it's in your notes because might not be going through in depth again later. So
Which tithi are you wondering about?
the day before the new moon.
The Amavasya or Kṛṣṇa Chaturdashi?
S14.
Kṛṣṇa Chaturdashi is November 19th. Sunday.
It's tomorrow. That's today, but the one 2 weeks from now.
Until 1:05. So we have one more hour.
And so then what's the Kṛṣṇa Chaturthi?
That is Kṛṣṇa Chaturdashi.
Oh, so we're talking.
Chaturdashi.
I'm talking. Shukla. I want Shukla.
Shukla Chaturdashi is Sunday, December 3rd.
Say it again.
Sunday, December 3rd.
Is that 2 weeks from now? Yeah. Okay. So you weren't here last week, but did you hear about the Tibetan doctor coming? And
No.
so December there's not going to be classes because we have a Tibetan doctor teaching workshops each weekend.
Okay.
So we'll give you some info on that.
You're not going to India?
I'll be back December 10th.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So.
I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. So Abhishek, perfect to go into this next little section that I wanted to talk about today. Throw up the Jyotir Lingam stuff.